Hey there everybody, how you doing? I am Francis and welcome back to Quartz Party Blood Drive, and I am an idiot. So you guys remember last time I couldn't figure out what I'm doing, and I remember that this door is covered with tentacles. Well, I never tried to cut these tentacles using that axe that I found. Why did I never think about that? Man, I'm an idiot. There are tentacles completely wrapped around the door. Without some means of cutting them, there's no way in. Well, cutting, we do have a way to do that. We have a steel axe, and I can't believe I never thought of trying this. I am an idiot. Wow, that worked out pretty well, didn't it? One swing and the tentacles are gone. The visible ends of each tentacle are sliced out completely, and what's left of them immediately withdraws into the room, freeing the door to open. Well, if whatever, oh god. I was gonna say, whatever belongs to the tentacles is in here. I don't know if we want to come in. And oh boy, this is kind of a scary sight, gotta be honest. What the hell is going on in here? That's what I want to know. Some kind of black magic, maybe? It gives me the creeps, whatever it is. Why is there a tree inside the school? There was an enormous jet black tree sprouting from the middle of the classroom. Damn, there sure wasn't something like that in here last time around. No, there wasn't. Although then again, Sachi wasn't here last time either. This isn't the same heavenly host it was last time around. We can't rely on what we know from before. Yeah, I'm learning that myself. But this isn't like any pillar I've ever seen. It's a tree. Is the tree itself one of the pillars? Ah! Gah! What happened? Damn it! Don't scare me like that! Okay. So the tree itself is a pillar? At the base of the tree, among all the spirit routes, there was a wooden plate displayed, words written in what looked more like red paint than blood. Someone has come. Someone is here. They're here! Here. Here. Here! So, what do we do with them? When will we take our next trophy? I hope soon. And how shall we kill them this time? Living humans. I hate them so. Lifeblood is detestable. Oh, how I hate them all. I must snuff them out. The murmurings of vengeful spirits could be heard all around us. God, I don't think we want to be here. And mixed in with them was a dull tone that resonated through my body, like a ringing in my ears. What the? This doesn't feel right. Kishinuma must have heard it too, based on his reaction. All the color had drained from his face. Like a record player needle skipping, the faint, unpleasant tone continued to repeat over and over, echoing within us. I felt like if I stayed any longer than I had to, my head would burst. Oh dear. I was hyperventilating. Oh, not now, Yumi. Please. Hey, where are we? This is a classroom, right? I think it's the art room. All we can be sure of is that this isn't the world we know. Both of us were trembling, and even Kishinuma's breathing had become erratic. The trepidemic that rocked us down to our cores was something that couldn't ever truly be described. If you haven't heard it, and I pray you haven't, you never understand. Part of it, most of it probably, was due to the fact that we were literally standing in a place that operated on its own logic. Nothing we'd ever learned or experienced applied. I focused my attention back onto the wooden plate by the roots. There was a charm hanging from it, fashioned out of a wood plank bound with thin rope. The rope was looped over its surface into a perfectly patterned mesh, giving it a texture that looked much like a bird's feather or a bee's nest at first glance. What is that? An Indian charm? Or that's what it looks like anyway, but I'm not getting a positive feeling from it. You think that charm could be the pillar and not the tree like I originally thought? My breaths were coming in short, choppy bursts at this point, but I had to keep working toward my goal. I clenched the charm in my hand, biting my lip and preparing for the worst. Whoa! Oh god, oh, this is not good. We're surrounded by spirits. Whoa. Eek! Oh, this is not good. No, 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 no. Bye, bye. Oh, this is not, oh no. Hello? Huh? That was creepy. Is this the purest crystal? It's beautiful. I feel like warm water is streaming out of it and coursing through my body. Well, whatever it is, it saved us. Seriously? We got honor! Alright, that is 2 pillars down now. Go into my inventory. We now have honor and justice. We got 2 pillars. 4 more to go until we got them all. Anything else in this room? I wouldn't like to stay here any longer than I have to. That was kind of terrifying what just happened, you know? Oh, there's something here. Hello. Crowbar! There was that one door that we couldn't get into. I can pry it open with the crowbar, right? Anything else in the tree? Oh, there's something in the tree. Something in the hole. The gym key. There was also one in the gym key, one of the pillars. Alright guys, we're finally making progress. Yeah! After 2 episodes of little to no progress, we're finally getting somewhere. Alright. Oh yeah, the gym was down here, wasn't it? This door here? Or was that the door we couldn't go in? Yeah, that was the gym. It's open. You ready? I guess so. As ready as I'll ever be. I don't ever have any hosts having a gym, honestly. Oh boy. What's going to happen in here? Is that the pillar in the middle? I feel like I've seen this place before. When? Really? Last time we came here, I don't remember there being a gym. Yeah, I just said the same thing. Yeah, I guess you're right. So, what the hell is this then? I'm guessing that's the pillar. We're gonna have to go up the spiral, aren't we? It looks like... Stop right there! A giant turd? Huh? You're going to say something disgusting, weren't you? Probably! What do you mean? Doesn't it look like soft-serve ice cream to you? That's my sister's favorite food! Oh, I thought you were going to the same place I was going. It does look like a giant turd though when you think about it. I guess Ayumi was thinking the same thing I was. Oh, so your sister is really into ice cream then? Way too much! She even eats it in winter! Me? I get cold just watching her. You know, I didn't even know Yoshiki had a sister. Maybe that's because she's not really important to the main overall story. Kishinuma, look! Up there! Huh? Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I approached it. That has to be where the crystal is. I'll see if I can climb it. Huh? Climb it? Come on, you gotta be kidding me! No, I'm very serious. What, you don't think I can? I may not look it, but I was an expert tree climber when I was a kid, you know. And the pillar's really solid, see? So this would be a piece of cake. If you say so, girl. Still, though. Fine, I can give you a boost on my shoulders if you want. Make it easier to get started. Me? On your shoulders? I wasn't sure I liked that idea. My expression made those misgivings blatantly clear to Kishinuma. What's with that face? You'll just be stepping on my shoulders so you can reach the ledge. Nothing to it, right? Oh, alright. Yep, I go. You good? Yeah, let's do this. Okay. Hurrah! And we're up. And now we just gotta go up very carefully and don't fall. I don't think we can fall though, can we? No, we can't. Okay. And I'm just walking around to reserve my stamina. Like so. Whoa, that was scary. Like the camera doing stuff. Got it! I got the crystal! Yes! Alright. Come on down! Okay. Are we gonna have a hard time coming down? Kishinuma looked up at me, but quickly diverted his eyes when he realized he could easily see up my skirt. Oh. Okay. At least he had the courtesy of turning around instead of taking a peek. Still, nothing from Aiko or Masudo, huh? Eek! I let out a loud shriek, grabbing Kishinuma's attention. Not that it mattered, given our relative positions. What happened? Is it Sachi? Oh! Worse than Sachi. Human hands! These are human hands! Inside this pillar. There are a lot of people trapped inside this pillar. All of a sudden, I was surrounded by body parts with hands and strands of hair comprising the bulk of them. Oh, this is terrifying. And then from out of the blue, sickening, cheerful carnival music began blaring from over the gym's loudspeaker. Yeah, this music really goes with the situation. Volume up so high as to unpleasantly distort the sound. It was almost like an old record playing from a phonograph. Coupled with the corpses now littering my path, the music was even more unsettling than it would have been to begin with. Carnival music on itself is unsettling, you know? Yeah! I'm sinking! Oh no! I was quickly losing my footing as the formerly solid pillar began to break down into a porous, almost sand-like substance. Shinozaki, get down! Hurry! Okay! Creepy hands! Creepy, creepy, creepy! Oh dear. No. No! Oh no! Oh, that's not good. Sand began to pour into my mouth and nose, immediately preventing me from saying another word, or more importantly, breathing. The more I tried to resist, the more the pillar pulled me in. The sand was now in my eyes and felt like it was seeping into my skull from there. The pain was unbearable. The weight of the material pushing against me quickly began cracking my ribs and crashing my lungs. There was no escape anymore. I was gone. Shit! Well, that's a way to go. I was trying to fight it. But, you know, lack of stamina in this game is one of the biggest issues. Alright, well, we're going. And this is my strategy I'm going with now. Slowly walk and only sprint when I start getting pulled towards the center. It's working, I'm lasting longer than I did before. This music really is terrifying. I just thought about how the gym made it look familiar to Kishinuma. Remember when the Hammerman locked him out, right? He was taken to a place, maybe it was here. Kishinuma grabbed my arm and tried to pull me free from the object. But within its steps, there was a little girl with black eyes, and she was staring right at us. It's Sachi! Yep, it's Sachi, oh my god. God! The sight was unnerving, but he didn't flinch for long. He continued pulling, desperately trying to free me from becoming part of this pillar's makeup. Okay, so Sachi knows what we're up to. The hell was that? You okay? That was Sachi! Now you've seen her. Yeah, let's just get out of here now. Yeah, and not come back. Like, oh god damn it. Oh god, what the hell? This music is driving me crazy! It's driving me crazy! Same here! Let's head back into the school! Yeah, and never ever come back to here. Like, never. So what about the crystal? Were you able to get it? Yeah, here. This is it, the Pyrrhus crystal. Victory! Alright, we got 3 now. Oh, hello. Kisaragi Academy, Quest 2-9. This prayer to morning homeroom. Yeah, meanwhile, in the meantime. Yeah, Satoshi's, still going about normal life while everyone else is living like the nightmare that is Heavenly Host. I enter the quest room, school bag in hand, and beeline directly from Naomi from the look on her face. She'd been waiting for me. Morning, Satoshi. Good morning, Naomi. How'd it go? At Shinozaki's, I mean. Not good, I'm afraid. Naomi shook her head. I did go, but her parents said she hasn't been home since the day before yesterday. So what now? Something is definitely not right. I thought Satoshi knew that she went to Heavenly Host. Her voice quivered. No doubt memories of our time in Heavenly Host were resurfacing for her, just as they had been for me. And my news was no better, unfortunately. Same story with Yoshiki. According to his neighbor, there hasn't been a single sound coming from his apartment since yesterday, which means he probably never went home last night. God, I don't want to hear that. I'm sick and tired of this. I don't want to lose any more friends. Naomi had her face completely buried in her hands at this point. I think you should know that Yoshiki was very worried about Shinozaki. He said she was in danger, and it had to do with Heavenly Host. But that place shouldn't exist anymore. It kinda does though. Yoshiki and Shinozaki. What the hell could you guys have possibly gotten yourselves into? In my worry, I did what I often do when I'm trying to clear my mind, and looked out the window staring into the cloudy sky. And suddenly, there it was again. What is that? Oh, hi. Well, I think I know what that is. We were told that, the Heavenly Host spiritual world is becoming one with the human world, and when that happens, human life is going to cease to exist as it is. There was a solid black spherical object hovering in the sky. Is that going to be how Satoshi and Naomi get to Heavenly Host, by jumping into a big giant black sphere? You see it too, right, Naomi? Huh? Yeah. What is that? Mashida Nakashima, please refrain from looking outside during school hours. Morning homeroom is about to begin. Our homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, entered the classroom with his usual air of authority. Wasn't that the name of the principal? What's he doing here then? Miss Niwa is out sick today, so third period English will be study hall. Come on, you two, get back to your seats. What are you looking at out there anyways? Look for yourself, sir. Mr. Yamazaki, can't you see it too? That black thing? Huh? What is that? Yeah, now you see why we were staring outside? If even the teacher was startled by this, it must be juicy. Or so all the other students seemed to think, as they began to murmur noisily and get up to see for themselves. Whoa! What? What is that? God, that's creepy. It's a natural disaster. We're all going to die. You think the big one's coming? No, everybody, calm down. Panicking will do us no good. Mr. Yamazaki, I say we end quest early. Don't be absurd. If there's an emergency, we'll get a call about it. And if that happens, and school is dismissed, then you may go. Right now, the best thing to do is return to your seats. And girls, please don't stand on the desk. The boys can see everything. Eek! Woo! Why is every male student a pervert? You pervs! Come on, seriously? Naomi and I looked one another in the eye. We were both thinking the same thing. Satoshi, I don't like this. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about myself. This chill in the air. It's exactly the same as in Heavenly Host. In your seats! That means you! Class is finally over. After classes end, we took a trip to Paulina Academy High School. We needed something to go on. Some kind of clue. Anything at all, really. So we just started asking around. Eventually, we encountered a girl who was crying profusely about some friends of hers who gone missing. They all just disappeared and... Mio, right? Were you friends with Naho Seinoki and Aiko Niwa? Yeah, Sayaka and I were both really close with them. And they'd always tease us. I'm sorry. The entire time Mio spoke with us, she was trying to rub the tears from her eyes. and each time she attempted it, it made her ponytail twitch. What's going on anywhere? Where did they all go? And what's that black thing? I think that black thing is, well, it's... We know Heavenly Host is becoming one with the human world. I think that big black thing literally is the Nirvana. If we jump into it, we'll probably end up in Heavenly Host, and I'm thinking that's how Naomi and Satoshi are going to get there. Since the two pair of the Ever After Stones aren't here anymore, you know, they have no other way of getting there. We pledge after our escape not to burden others unnecessarily with information about Heavenly Host, feeling that most people were simply better off not knowing. If you're looking for info about Naho and the others, then something scary must be going on, right? Well, I don't need any details. I know we wouldn't be able to help even if you told me, but please, save them from whatever it is. She was actually grabbing my shirt now, and the tears were pouring from her eyes all over again. Wherever they are, they're probably in a lot of pain. Well, you're not wrong there. Aiko was nearly on fire, and that will be dead, you know. Aiko Niwa, the girl we met at Makina Shinozaki's apartment. She seemed calm and confident, even a little full of herself, but somewhere deep down, I felt there was a chink in her armor, and I think Naomi had felt it too. To be honest, even we're not exactly sure what's going on, but if we figure anything out, we'll make a point to come back and let you know. Mio rubbed her eyes again, her ponytails perking up once more, and looked up at us with big wet saucers. Oh. That was not a good sound. Out of the options, we elected to retry the Sachiko and the Ever After ritual. That was our method to ingress into Heavenly Host last time, after all. Yeah, but it's not going to work this time, because we're dealing with Sachi, not Sachiko. With proxy doll in hand and my bag of supplies at the ready, the two of us yanked our arms back as hard as we could, splitting the paper in two so that we could each hold a piece. It's no use, it really isn't working anymore. Well, yeah, like I said, the Heavenly Host is not Sachiko's world anymore. It's now Sachi's world, and Sachi is much more twisted and much more evil than Sachiko. Because Sachiko, yeah, became twisted and an evil, murdering, vengeful spirit, but at the end of the day, she was still human. Sachi isn't human. In fact, she's not supposed to exist. She was unborn, you know. Yeah. Looks like the curse of Heavenly Host has been cleared after all. Seems like it, with no Sachiko anymore. That whole school should have been totally destroyed. And I brought a mountain of water and calorie biscuits to bring with us. I patted my bag as to demonstrate to Naomi how much was in it. It should have been fairly obvious though, as the bag itself was practically bursting at the seams. Helicopters flew by overhead, no doubt in response to the mysterious black orb that had appeared in our sky. We watched the flurry of activity above us as we glumly left Paulina Academy High School, no closer to any answers than we were before. Glancing over at Naomi, I saw a sour expression on her face and tried to imagine why she didn't want to go back home. And it wasn't hard to think of numerous reasons. I think I know the reason why. After Naomi's mother, you know, saw like the lettering on her eye, she was getting a knife ready, and I don't want to know what she was going to do with that. Hey Naomi, are you going to stay with Miss Niwa again today? Yeah. Okay, well, would you like to stop by my house again first? My mom and Yuka too, of course, seem to have really taken a liking to you. Are you sure you don't mind? Her expression instantly measurably brightened. I don't mind at all. In fact, I'd appreciate it. Yuka could stand some cheering up herself, you know. Thank you. We shifted direction slightly and began the relatively short foot trek to my house. It was an ordinary and rather pleasant walk for a while, until Naomi caught sight of her mother turning the corner up ahead. At the time, I didn't realize that's who it was. She was grasping the arm of a young man sporting a shaved head and a construction outfit, with some sort of insignia emblazoned on the back of his uniform. Mom? She was clearly very close to this man, coming up to him as they walked, pulling his arm into the bosom and even sneaking a few kisses before the pair disappeared down an alleyway. Oh dear. What's wrong, Naomi? It's nothing. Nothing at all. Don't worry about it. Her voice had gone up on a full octave as she said this. Clearly, something was indeed bothering her, but I had no way to know what it was at the moment, and could only take her at her word. And her word was, by all appearances, that everything was fine. She more or less closed herself off, outwardly pretending not to have seen a thing. Okay, can I really save? Like, I really want to save. I don't want to do that whole ice cream thing again. As we drew closer to my house, we slowly began to see a strange light illuminating the area around it. And that area was different than what it had looked like this morning, to say the least. There was now a bamboo wall surrounding my home. And most notably, we now had a hot spring. What the hell is happening? This wasn't here this morning. What the hell is Mashita Springs? Calm down, Satoshi. Let's just go inside and see. Immediately upon opening my front door, however, we were greeted by a sign reading, "This way to the natural springs." Is this not my home anymore? The Ministry of Defense plans to issue a statement at 1800 hours regarding the massive black orb that's appeared in the skies over Tokyo. We entered the dressing room only to find Yuka naked. At least she's wearing a towel. What's going on, Yuka? Can you clue us in on what's going on? I'm so confused. Welcome home, Big Brother and Naomi. The water's great. Yuka was holding a toy goldfish, a towel, and a small beach ball in her hands. Can you tell us what's going on? What are you doing? That's not the question I should have asked, but I was in too much shock for my words to come out the way I meant them to. And Yuka didn't seem to mind. She just smiled back at me, as joyful as I'd ever seen her. Come on, it's amazing! Grabbing one of each of our hands, she slid open a glass door in the back and led us into the Mashita Spring proper that we just been hearing so much about. Okay, I'm still confused. Care to explain what's going on? Hey bro, gotta say, this is one sweet soak. Who the hell is Satsuki? Who? There's another girl already soaking in the springs? A young girl around Yuka's age, sporting a stylish hairdo? What's going on? Huh? Don't tell me you never met her before. She's a friend from class. Her name's Satsuki Mizuhara. Nice to meet you, bro. Now, you be sure to keep your eyes up high, okay? Not that I expect you to be too turned on by these raisins of mine. Haha. Boingy, boingy, boingy. Oh my god. What am I even reading? What the hell? Hey! Stop jiggling them. Stop looking, Satoshi. It was official. Nothing makes any sense anymore. What the hell is going on around here? Hang in there, Satoshi. Naomi had grabbed hold of my shoulders as to keep me upright in case I suddenly decided to faint, which all things considered was probably a sensible precaution. Isn't it wonderful? Miss Kuan, what's going on in my house? It's good for your health. Plus, Sulphur Springs help ward off evil spirits, so it's win-win. Oh, so this was your idea? I asked them to have everything built by noon, and as you can see, they definitely delivered. My company's construction division is quite resourceful, wouldn't you say? Yeah, you could say that. How can you do something like this without asking permission first? I pointed my finger at her in an accusatory manner, as was the style at the time. Well now, welcome home, Satoshi. And the same to you, Naomi. Oh, thanks for having me. Hope I'm not intruding. Suddenly I found myself shuddering down to my core as my mom apparently before us wearing nothing but a bath towel. Oh boy. Mom? Her skin was bright pink and she seemed to be in very high spirits. By the looks of things, she was in the spring herself until just moments before we arrived, when she evidently stepped out to the kitchen to get a very large number of beverages. If you're going to go back into the house to get drinks, shouldn't you at least wipe yourself down first? You're soaping wet. Yeah, sure. Anyway, everyone grab a drink. Yay! Hey, what do you say we take a group photo? a commemoration of the establishment of Mashita Springs. Here, everyone line up. Yeah, just like that. Now say cheese. Shouldn't we get dressed before you go taking pictures? I feel very uncomfortable. Cheese! Oh boy. Well, okay then. At least Naomi seems happy. Satoshi doesn't know how to feel. Naomi and I were forced into frame as well. Like it or not, we were now part to this madness. I have no words. Our eyes were basically pinpricks at this point. None of this seemed even remotely real, and neither Naomi nor I had any idea how to react to it. Yeah, we just came home and found out our place was basically transformed into a hot spring. I took the drink my mom handed me, and without even checking what it was, I chugged down a few gulps. I was thirstier than I thought, apparently. What flavor is this? There was a white thick liquid inside the milk bottle I was given. It had a faint tint to it when viewed under the right light. But, like the flavor, I couldn't quite identify it. This color is the fruit-flavored milk. I turned the bottle to read the label. Apparently, it was Niwa flavored? It tastes like Niwa? Oh, my mind's going places. No. Oh, please don't tell me it's the type of milk I think it is. Miss Kuan, I can't thank you enough for building this lovely hot spring on our property. You're welcome here anytime you like. Here, it's a spare key to the house. Oh boy, give the teacher a key to our house. Good decision. Oh my, Miss Mashita, I don't know what to say. Mom? Are you certain it's alright for me to have this? Of course. There wouldn't be a Mashita Springs if it weren't for you, after all. Far as I'm concerned, you got a 1-year free pass. Mom! That night, I found myself tossing and turning in my futon. I just couldn't get to sleep. For the life of me, so I tossed the covers aside and got up. Might as well go for a dip. This had been the craziest day I could recall. In this world, anyway. After all the commotion had died down and our many guests had departed, Dad had come home and predictably was in the springs right away, with a carafe of his favorite steak. I had a hard time justifying Miss Kuan's arbitrary actions, not to mention my family's utter willingness to accept them, but in the end, I had to admit the hot spring was pretty nice. The rest of my family was all still sleeping, so the house was dead silent. I took off my clothes in the dressing room and slid open the glass door, and there, sitting on the edge of the spring, completely uncovered, was Miss Kuan. Oh boy. My face instantly turned bright red. She was a fairly attractive woman after all, so being alone with her like this was kind of exciting. But don't get any ideas, Satoshi. That's still your teacher. Though looking at her now, entirely exposed as she was, revealed to me that this shapely woman was quite as shapely as I'd assumed. How many times can you say shapely in one sentence? Her body was abnormally worryingly thin. She was the definition of gaunt, looking every bit the part of an infirmed elderly woman from the neck down. And I could have sworn I caught a slight glint from the corner of her eyes. She didn't seem to notice me, so I was half tempted to slide the door closed and pretend none of this had ever happened. But no, I had to come clean. Miss Kuan? Oh, Satoshi. Despite the fact that I was a much younger man and her student no less, she made absolutely no effort to hide her nakedness. In fact, she actually seemed a little excited to be seen this way. Well, yeah, we know how she feels about Satoshi. And it's not a good way for a teacher to feel that way about one of her students. Why are you in our bath at this hour? Sorry, did I wake you? No, not at all. That's not it at all. Never mind. Where's Naomi? She's sleeping soundly at my home. I called her family again today, and her mother seems to have calmed down quite a bit. That's good to hear. I was legitimately relieved, but I was also having trouble concentrating on the conversation. It took every ounce of focus I had to avert my eyes from, well, you know, the things I knew I shouldn't be staring at. Could you cover yourself, Miss Kuan? Hmm? Oh dear. My apologies. She immediately got up from her spot and dunked herself to the water up to her neck. This was a very effective means to at least partially obscure her body. What about you? Aren't you cold just standing there like that? You should get in as well. Huh? I panicked at the realization that I too was completely naked right now. Yeah, you forgot to go get dressed before coming queen. I covered myself with my hands and could feel the blood rushing to my head, turning me what I quite certain must have been an incredibly shade of red. This is getting quite uncomfortable also. Recovering as best as I could from the embarrassment, I stepped into the water, choosing my spot carefully as so we could put some distance between myself and Miss Kuan. Were you crying just now, Miss Kuan? Huh? I just had this strange feeling that you were... If not, then I'm sorry to ask such a weird question. Actually, I was pondering, thinking about how nice it would be if time just stopped. Interesting you mentioned that, because I think it just might, since the Nirvana is becoming one with the world of the living. Miss Kuan, why are you doing all this? Huh? Building a hot spring in a student's house, hiring private bodyguards to do your bidding. None of it makes any sense. It's all just so weird. It's making it hard for me to sleep. Are you asking about those things specifically, or do you want to know more about who I am? I want to know more about who you are. Come on, let's come queen. If you're asking about these things specifically, the answer is because I want to protect others. Protect others? From what? And you're asking about who I am? Didn't I already go over that with you kids at the start of the year? Well, I was previously but a humble civil servant for a certain large corporation, but then worked my way up to CEO, and realized I could make my dream of becoming a teacher a reality. So she's a CEO then. I guess that explains how she's able to afford all this crazy stuff. Does your corporation produce the fruit milk I was drinking earlier too? The label said it was Niwa flavored, which I might add is kind of, yes, that's one of our products. I made it for kids like Yuka, who can't decide whether they want yogurt, plain milk, fruit milk, or coffee milk. Now they don't have to decide and can just enjoy every flavor at once. Okay, so it's not what I thought. Whew! Oh, okay. Now, is that enough information to sate your curiosity? I can understand where Miss Kuan was coming from, I guess, but her approach is just way too haphazard. Her ideas are well-intentioned, but go far beyond all notions of good sense. I scratched my head. What's wrong? Huh? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about your curry. My curry? She seemed genuinely confused. I guess to her, the idea of feeding me pre-chewed curry was just another stroke of brilliance, maybe. Not at all something that might have a poor high school boy like myself up at night. Actually, how old is Miss Kuan anyway? I really wanted to know, but couldn't bring myself to ask something so rude of a lady, even if I'm sure she wouldn't have minded. The more I thought about it though, the more intrigued I was by the enigma. I began shiftily turning my gaze toward her in short intervals, examining her body for clues. Her face had the texture and hue of a woman in the early 20s, but her body was another story. All of her skin was as smooth and beautiful toned as that of her face, but there was so little behind it. Ribs fully exposed in every detail. Even down toward her abdomen, I could make out round indentations where her internal organs were practically jolting out. There was no muscle, no fat, just skin and bones, literally. Her proportions just didn't match up with one another. She was like a construct built out of spare parts. I felt almost as if this person soaking before me wasn't even entirely human. Maybe she's not. Miss Kuan suddenly let out a mischievous giggle. Crap, did she catch me staring? What is it? What's so funny? I was just reminiscing about my first day as assistant teacher for your class. I'll never forget it, for as long as I live. My memory there was obviously a lot different from hers. Kuan Niwa wasn't even a part of it. The TA who showed up that day in my mind was and always would be Yoi Shishido. I could still vividly remember her tripping on a step up to the teacher's desk and tearing her skirt. Oh my god! She had to hold the rear of it together with a safety pin for the entire day. Oh my god, Miss Yoi off to a bad start! And even though we were now living in a different reality, a world without Miss Yoi, Shinohara, Suzumoto, or Morishige, we had no memories of the alternative events from this existence. I love you. Well, that's kind of straightforward. Excuse me? I'm in love, Satoshi. My mind went completely blank. My eyes were swimming in my head and I couldn't even see straight from the heat of the water. I had to have misunderstood her. With what? Miss Kuan smiled widely and her cheeks turned a rosy red hue. But only for a split second, then she was back to looking wistful again. Pangs of undue guilt and dread began to well up inside of me. I knew what the next word of her mouth was going to be. You. Miss Kuan was almost like a mask of innocence as she spoke that single word. Her eyes looked into mine and froze them solid. I couldn't look away. Come on, stop messing with me! When you're gone with your soak, please go straight home, okay? Also, you're very close. I was dumbfounded. I immediately and very quickly got out of the bath and headed for the dressing room. This was all just too weird. I looked back at Miss Kuan and unsurprisingly, she seemed almost deflated. She was looking down at the water in a state of utter dejection. I turned to face her, still feeling a strange mix of guilt and awkwardness, but allowing the guilt to dominate for a moment. Miss Kuan? I'm not messing with you. After saying this, she closed her eyes and turned bright red. And I was pretty sure if it wasn't for the heat, despite her physique, she seemed like a schoolgirl at that moment. I began to waver in my convictions. I felt like I had to justify not returning her sentiment. But, I don't know anything about you. She twitched a little at this. Had I gone too far? Was I supposed to know more about her in this reality than I actually did? After the longest few seconds in recent memory, her head drooped, and a look of absolute sadness washed over her face. I'd never seen her like this before. Well, she's heartbroken. She opened her heart, which is a hard thing to do, but this is something I don't think she should have came out with, you know, like, I'm pretty sure there's a policy about teachers dating students. Crap. I didn't mean to hurt her. She had to have known that. But what she didn't know, and what I couldn't really explain, was that I'd only been a part of this reality for a very short time. So I genuinely didn't know anything about her. I tried to think of a way to convey this to her, but my mind kept drawing blanks. It was all just too absurd, too fantastical, too implausible. Miss Kuan, No, it's alright. I'm sorry to have sprung that on you. She slowly turned her back to me. Part of me was relieved by her acceptance, I guess, but another part of me was still absolutely riddled with guilt. There was a moment of silence, and then Miss Kuan's white waterproof wristwatch broke it with a sudden loud beep. Ah! All the sadness in her expression gave way to surprise, as the numbers on the watch's display, which I realize now, hadn't changed this whole time, began counting down. I felt almost as if I'd been saved by the bell, so to speak, and forced a small laugh, hoping that this interruption might help move the topic away from, well, me! Miss Kuan, what kind of watch is that? Is it measuring something? She smiled. It's part of my research. This timer had stopped, but it's on the move again now. A timer? Oh, is this research for your company? It is. There was something about the smile of hers that was strangely haunting. It would come to leave a lasting impression on me. Well, I think it's about time to head home. I took the day off today, but rest assured I'll be back at school tomorrow. See you then! Miss Kuan? I just wanted to say, thanks to you, Naomi and Yuka seem a lot happier now. I'm so glad. I think the same can be said for me, Yoshiki and Shinozaki, so thank you. Thank you for healing my friend's wounds in this strange new world. It's what I was trying to convey, and somehow deep down, I think the statement got through. I'm pleased to hear you say that, and I want to thank you as well, Satoshi. Okay. With that, she slowly and meticulously waded her way to the edge of the spring. Whoopsie daisy! At which point she stepped out of the water directly in front of me. God, you really need to cover yourself, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, great! We're finally back into school. Man, I just want to save. Like, I don't want to do that whole ice cream thing again. The only save point I know how to reach from here is the one in the second building, so I guess we're going back there. Alright, there we go, and that is a great place to stop for today. Wow, I've actually been recording for an hour, and only 20 minutes of that was actually gameplay. Either way, that's going to do it for today. Thank you everybody for joining me coming to Quartz Party Blood Drive. Hope you guys are enjoying this, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day. Bye everybody.